Good morning. Thank you so much for joining the webinar today. This is Siva from MassMailer. Today we are going to go through very quick steps that you have to follow in order to upgrade to the MassMailer latest release. It's November 20 release 2.46. The X could change, periodically, but right now as we stand, it is at 37. So it is 2.46.37. But as you all know, we auto push the upgrades when it comes to the patches. So if you are on 2.46, any upgrades that we do with the patch, you would receive that automatically. You really don't have to do anything. So that is the reason why it is mandatory that you upgrade to the latest release always. Which is 2.46 right now. Okay. Very important guidelines once again before you actually get started with upgrade. So make sure that your Salesforce admin user who has the MassMailer license only would perform the upgrade. Once again, I'll repeat. Whoever is a Salesforce admin user who has the MassMailer license needs to perform the upgrade, not any other user. This is very important because we do a lot of metadata API calls, and so not every user will have access. Basically, the full users that you may have purchased, I'm sure one of them is an admin user. So make sure that only the admin user performs this upgrade. If you have Sandbox, it is always recommended that you upgrade in Sandbox, test your use case scenario, make sure it's working fine before you upgrade in production. If you have not purchased the Sandbox plan from MassMailer, you can always purchase that, but this is the right way to upgrade. We never recommend anyone to just upgrade in production. It should always go through Sandbox and then do it. That's our recommendation. But ultimately, if you want to put in production, it's your own risk. It's basically that you don't want to break your process, you don't want to break anything. So if you want to realistically follow the guidelines, this is the right way to do it. Just feel free to ask us if you do not have the Sandbox plan for MassMailer, so we can help you with that. And also make sure that you perform all the upgrade instructions that I'm going to outline here. Otherwise, the app won't function as expected. So many times I see that rather sometimes some of the customers actually click on the upgrade, assume that everything is taken care, but they don't perform the other instructions, which may not result into the right functionality. So make sure that you follow all the upgrade instructions, once the app is upgraded. It's quite easy, nothing complicated as such. So what do you do in order to upgrade? First and foremost, you go to massmailer.io/upgrade. So this is basically for the upgrade. If you were used to using install to upgrade, please don't do that going forward. So we have a separate URL. This is only meant for our customers. The install link mainly meant for new customers. Not the existing customers. For the existing customers, if you ever want to upgrade to the latest version, come to this URL where we will always have the latest patch. Again, you don't have to do it if you're already on 2.46 or whatever the latest release is. You just do this only once though. And once you are on 2.46, anything which is a new patch, you would get it. It may happen in a week, or it may happen in 2 weeks, or maybe in a week we may have multiple patches. It all depends when we're going to push the upgrades. So basically go to massmailer.io/upgrade, and then you'll see two options, production sandbox, based on where you're upgrading. You can click on the respective link. I'll show it to you as well. Once it is upgraded, you would want to go to the MassMailer setup. I'm sure many of you are familiar with this if you're an admin user. So go to MassMailer app and then MassMailer setup. You would find a new tab called users under MassMailer setup. So this was not there earlier in the previous releases, so it is an important step. Rather, it is a required step that you need to go through. So go to the users, and then you have to update the respective license type for the MassMailer users. You would see all the MassMailer users already in that page, but they may be initially assigned as a read-only access. So if you have purchased all full access licenses, based on who you want the MassMailer admin to be, so that person would be MassMailer admin. I'll show you again how to assign someone the MassMailer admin access and non-MassMailer admin access. It's quite easy. So basically, this is the first step. Once the app is upgraded to the latest version, you would go to MassMailer setup, users, update the respective license type for the MassMailer users. So you would see two types. One is full access and then read-only access. But for the full access, there are two options. It's like a toggle box, MassMailer admin or non-admin. And then you would click on the save button. On the same page, you will see the save button. Basically, you're just saving the changes that you make on that user's the tab. Once that is done, you go to finish and then click on the finish button. That's it. So it's only a two-step process as it's outlined here. Assigning the right license to the user or the MassMailer user, saving the changes, and then going to the finish step and then clicking on the finish button. And that should pretty much take care of your upgrade. And after that, you would want to kind of test it out. Again, ideally, you should upgrade it in Sandbox and then do it in production. And if you do not have Sandbox plan, please reach us out. So that's as simple as that. So let's take a quick look at it. So this is the upgrade link, massmailer.io/upgrade. So once you go to this page, you will see two options, upgrade in production and upgrade in Sandbox. Again, we recommend that you go to Sandbox and upgrade. Otherwise, go to production if you do not have Sandbox plan, or if you strictly do not want to upgrade in Sandbox for whatever reason, then you would do it in the production. And please note that we don't support the upgrade anymore. It's a paid service. If you have any issues, you can always reach us out. But again, if you want us to upgrade, we are happy to do that, but for a cost. So you click on this upgrade in production, and then that's going to take you to this the URL. You basically log in with your credentials. I'm actually doing it in production because this is just a test instance for us. But in your case, you may have to do it in Sandbox and then do the production. So it's gonna basically just ask you, you want to do install for admins only, all users, specific profiles. Make sure that you always select the install for all users, otherwise app will not function as expected. This is again a mandatory step. So install for all users. I'll take a screenshot maybe, and then I'll put it in the instructions. So let me just take a quick screenshot here. Since this is already upgraded, it's just showing the same version. So never mind, but you may not have it the same way. You may be on 2.45 or 2. Whatever other version. You can upgrade to this latest version. But if you're less than 2.4224, then there's one more additional step that you need to take care. I know most of you are on 2.46. Very handful of customers are not on 2.45. So you should be fine as long as you're on 2.45. You will not have any issues. But if you have any issues, let us know. So make sure that you install for all users and then click on this upgrade. So that's it. So it'll take a few minutes sometimes. You will receive an email once everything gets upgraded. So you can always find to make sure if you have been upgraded or not, how you actually go and check. So you basically go to setup, whether you're upgraded or not. This is how you do it always, whether you're in classic or lightning, you always go to MassMailer setup. Sorry, the Salesforce setup. So once you are in the Salesforce setup, type in installed packages. So you click on this installed packages link, and then you would find the MassMailer app. So you got to make sure that it is 2.4637, or it could be 3839. You know, as I said, we keep changing the patch. You would always see the latest patch when you go to massmailer.io/upgrade. So as long as you're on 2.46.x, you're good. You're upgraded to the latest version. So once you're on the latest version 2.4637 or whatever the patch may be, the next step is to go to MassMailer setup. And how do you go to MassMailer setup? So basically your app launcher. So it would be from here. I'm assuming that most of you are in Lightning. If you're not on Lightning, you would go to the MassMailer Classic app from the app menu. And then you would, again, see the same thing. You go to MassMailer setup. And initially, you won't be able to see all the tabs, I believe, because you still haven't assigned the license types, but you will see the users tab. So don't get panicked. So it's basically the setup that you need to go through. Very simple thing. So MassMailer setup, and then users, and then from here, based on how many users user licenses that you have purchased, you're gonna flip. So I think initially the license type may be read-only user. So it's okay. All you need to do is just click here, and then you have to select the respective user type. So if you are Salesforce admin, and if you have the full access user license that you already purchased, select the full access user, and then turn this to MassMailer admin. It's very important. So the Salesforce admin should be a MassMailer admin too. That way you get a higher level access. If you're not an admin user, if you're not Salesforce admin user, do not set this checkbox for that particular user. We're going to throw an error though, but I'm just trying to give you kind of a tip here when you need to turn this admin, when you do not need to. So for example, you can see that both of them are full access users, but one of them is MassMailer admin, the other one is not MassMailer admin. That is because the first user is a Salesforce admin user, and the second user is not a Salesforce admin user. So that's the difference between these two. And then I know very few of you have purchased the read-only license. So we're going to work with you to kind of segregate who is going to be the read-only license user. we're going to reach out to you so that you don't get confused. So if at all you have more licensed users, so whatever the license user may be, just type in, find out who it is. I'm just going to show something. I'm not going to save this. So if it's a read-only user that you have purchased, so you would select the read-only user. As you can see, if it's a read-only user, you will not see this MassMailer admin option. That is because read-only user cannot be a MassMailer admin. It is only the full access user. That too, if it is a Salesforce admin, only then you can toggle this to MassMailer admin. The difference between the MassMailer admin and non-MassMailer admin, MassMailer admin will be able to access the setup tab, but the non-MassMailer admin cannot access the MassMailer setup tab. But they, as long as they're full access user, they can access all of the tabs, but not the MassMailer setup. So that's the main difference. And the read-only license user is basically meant for accessing the MassMailer data and the reports, but that read-only user cannot do any edit functionality. They can't send emails. They cannot create templates. They cannot create list views. Nothing of that sort. But the read-only user can look at the MassMailer data. So that's the main difference between the full access user and the read-only access user. So once you assign the respective license type for all the users, make sure you click on the Save button. So that will basically save any changes. It will assign the permission set that is necessary. So you have to click on the Save button. Please don't go without saving the changes on this particular page. So once you are done with this, make sure that you refresh the setup page. If at all it is not refreshed for you, so that's again important to make sure that you're able to access the setup, and then go to the Finish tab or the Finish sub tab under MassMailer Setup, and then click on this Finish button. So this is to make sure that no setup steps are missing. So it is important that you click on the Finish button. So this is always, we recommend that click on the Finish button in every single upgrade, which actually does, run few scripts behind the scenes. It could be an upgrade script, or it could be any other script that we run in the Finish step. So it is mandatory that you click on the Finish button. And you will receive an error. If at all there's any error in the upgrade, you will receive an error email, which is also logged in our support portal. We'll also come to know if at all there's any problem. And we'll reach out to you, or you can reach our support if at all you have any issues in upgrading. When it comes to upgrading Sandbox, if you do not have the MassMailer Sandbox plan, please do not upgrade in Sandbox and try to reuse the same the MassMailer user that you have here. So if you have a user here in production, that should never be used in Sandbox. Otherwise, you're going to invalidate the production setup completely. We unfortunately, if you did that, deliberately just to save on cost, we won't be able to support you in that scenario. We will force you to buy the Sandbox plan because you cannot use the same SendGrid user. This is a SendGrid user, as you know. You should never, or you should not be using the same SendGrid account in Sandbox because it's going to invalidate your production setup. It's going to mess up. You will have to do the complete setup once again in production. It'll take a lot of time. Please understand and do not do that. So it is must that you purchase a Sandbox plan if you do not have one, especially if you are having any process builder or API level integration. any sort of a customization that you've done on top of the standard the out of the box functionality of MassMailer, you should definitely get a sandbox plan, because again, every upgrade is different. If you have done the API level integration, you would want to make sure that that actually works well in sandbox first before you roll out this functionality in production. And same goes with the process builder. If you have process builder, functionality that you're using from MassMailer, you would want to upgrade in sandbox first and then upgrade in production. Otherwise, just in case if there's any issue and it may break your functionality. So please do not upgrade directly in production, especially if you have process builder and the developer API that you're using in your Salesforce instance. So those are kind of points that you want to note down. That's pretty much what I want to go talk about when it comes to upgrade. I've done several webinars in the recent weeks on the new features that MassMailer offers in 2.46. Feel free to go to our YouTube channel. You would always see this in my email signature, the YouTube channel. It is also on our website. The way you go to our YouTube channel is going to our website, and you would find a link at the bottom of the page, I believe, the social links. So you just have to click on that to go to our YouTube channel. So this is where you will see the YouTube link, and you can go there. So here you will find a lot of videos that I've, as a part of webinar, I've done this. The recent one is the number 20 release new features. And some more that I spoke about, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them are actually all related to the latest release. I've been talking about this for the past 2 months, I would say. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach us out. Again, the release notes will be distributed. So it's work in progress. Hopefully, will be done by today. And then we'll send an email also with these instructions. Once again, you would receive an email which has the instructions on how to upgrade, and also it will have a link to the release notes, and it will also have a link to this particular video. So hopefully, you will receive that email today, tomorrow, for sure. Watch out for that particular email and make sure that you upgrade. And be on the latest release always. If you're using MassMailer, that is a must. Must to be in the latest release. We do not support any previous releases from like today onwards. If you have not upgraded to 2.46, we won't be able to support the 2.45. We always support only the latest release. Once we have officially announced the latest release. So once you receive an email from us for 2.46, we won't be able to support the 2.45. You have to upgrade to 2.46 only. So that's the that's a point to be noted once again. So any questions, feel free to reach us out. Again, this is a weekly webinar that we schedule. Every week is going to be a different topic. Every Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Since we are going to have holidays for the next couple of weeks, so the next webinar is going to be in the new year. I think it's on 5th or 6th, so I believe whatever the first Thursday is in the month of January is when you will see the webinar being scheduled again with a different topic. But meanwhile, if you have any questions, feel free to reach us out. This is my email. You can also send it to support@massmailer.io, especially for upgrades don't send it to me directly. I appreciate if you always use support@massmailer.io for any support related questions. And then if you want to reach us out on other means, we do have the phone that you can call us, 1-800-297-0991, but it's always better to send an email to support. Again, the release notes would be published on our support portal. If you have never visited our support portal, it's again easy to go. So you just have to go to support.massmailer.io. If you're coming as a customer, all you need to type is support.massmailer.io. You can also go from our company website. So if you go to massmailer.io, there is a support link, and that's also going to take you to the support portal. So here you can actually create a new ticket, and the release notes would be published here. So if you ever wanted to look at the release notes, it's end of the page here. So the upgrade instructions and the release notes would be published here. So you would see 2.46 release notes, shortly. So that's the latest one. And please note that we have this major releases in any year. I think you would see typically 3 to 4 is what you would see the major releases. The timing is always 3 to 4 months apart. Hopefully not longer. So far, I think this year we would have done 4. Next year again, it could be 3 to 4. Not more than that is what you're going to have. So basically, those many times you're going to upgrade to MassMailer latest version. But rest of the upgrades are always auto push to you. So any patches will be auto push to you. So please make sure that only the admin user performs these upgrades always. Once again, thank you so much for joining the webinar today. Expect an email from me shortly, and have a great holiday time. If at all we don't talk once again, thank you being a MassMailer customer. Have a great day. Have a great weekend ahead. Bye-bye.